Hello friends and welcome to A Decorative Home. Today I'm going to take you along with me as I do a little restocking and organizing of our food pantry. This takes me about an hour to do once a month on a Sunday afternoon. So come along with me and let's get restocking and organizing the pantry. I have found that these Rubbermaid containers really help me to keep our food pantry organized. On the fronts of them, I have them labeled with what food item is in them. So to begin my restocking, I'll go ahead and I'll look through the pantry and see what container might be low, and I'll go ahead and grab those out of the pantry and put them on the countertop. And then I'll go ahead and grab the food items. Sometimes, like this time, I had just come back from the grocery store, so I had that food item ready available. Otherwise, I have a stock room in the basement that I keep my extra supplies down on a shelf. So I'll go down and I'll grab those items. But what I do is I'll go ahead and I'll line them up on the countertop, and then I'll put the food item in front of the container. That way I know if I have that or not. And if I don't, then I go ahead and write it down on my grocery list, and then that food container just goes back into the pantry like it was. So when I'm restocking, what I like to try to do is grab a bowl or something that I can dump what might be already in the containers into, and then I'll go ahead and put the new food into those containers, and then I'll dump what was already in there back in on top. That way the older is at the top, and then that can be used first. Sometimes it doesn't always work that way. I kind of eyeball it, so sometimes I don't quite have my eyeball right as far as putting the amount of new. I'll get that nice and full, or I might not have enough, whatever. But yeah, so I just kind of wing it, I guess is what I'm saying. So then I just go ahead and I repeat the whole process through all those containers that might be in the pantry. Right now what I'm doing is I'm going ahead and refilling my olive oil that's usually sets on the stove, so that's really not a pantry item. And I just got done filling up my coffee. Again, that's not my pantry thing, but you know, it's a restocking day, so those were things that needed to be done. So now I'm back into the pantry and I'm sorting through baskets. I like to use baskets to kind of group things together and keep me organized in the pantry as well. This basket that I'm working on right now is my pasta basket. It has extra pastas that I don't have containers for, like fettuccine and lasagna and stuff. Now I'm just back out on the countertop and I'm sorting through the basket that is my side dish basket. I'm just checking all the expiration dates and making sure that the oldest expiration date is front of the basket, and then just making sure that everything fits in there ever so. Then the other basket holds my seasoning mixes, like the stuff that I would mix into recipes like taco seasoning or something like that. So I'm glad I did that, because this basket actually had an empty container in there, so I just broke that down and put it into the recycling. Now I'm just moving on to my baking baskets. This basket has baking chocolate, melting chocolate, a couple cans of frosting. I think there is a thing of corn syrup, and then some nuts and stuff that I use in my baking. This basket is dedicated to cake mixes. So I'm just grouping the cake mixes together. If there's like multiple of one flavor, I'm putting those together into the basket, and I'm also again checking the expiration dates. I like to use cake mixes for recipes. I've got a great pumpkin muffin recipe over on my Creative Manor. I'll go ahead and link that down below so you can go check that out. I have two of these can organizers in the pantry. This one I kind of consider more for dinners. So what I'm doing right now is just going through and making sure that liked items are together. Then I'm going back in and making sure that they're all facing one direction. It just makes it a little bit easier to read the fronts of the labels when they're all going in one direction. This can organizer holds soups, canned fruits, and some condensed milk, and then a couple odd end things. So what I'm doing is pulling everything off, and then I'll group them back together back onto the shelf. I'm also checking expiration dates, which I had a can of condensed milk that was very outdated. I'm kind of surprised on that one, but that's a perfectly good reason why I continue to check them every time. Even though I do this often, I still need to make sure that I'm checking because things slip by you. So I'm just going ahead and putting everything back now. Just finishing up with my last two baskets, and that is my breakfast basket and my vinegar and oil basket. Again, just checking dates to make sure nothing was expired. What I like about using baskets in the pantry is I know that if I go to this basket here and I'm looking for red wine vinegar, I'm going to find it in there because that's where it's supposed to be. I can pull that basket out if I want and bring it out to the counter and then look for whatever I need, or I know that it's in a certain area in the pantry and I know I can go to that basket and grab what I need. So having the baskets in the pantry has been very useful. I feel like there's a lot of wasted space in between the shelves of our pantry, so to help solve that problem in this area, I went ahead and grabbed this little shelf that slides onto the longer shelf. It works perfect to hold our popcorn, so right now I'm just restocking our popcorn. I also restocked our snack bins, and I did a video on that, so I will go ahead and link that down below. If you like this video for our pantry restocking and organizing, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. We would love to have you as a subscriber to A Decorative Home, so go ahead and click on that subscribe button, and while you're at it, go ahead and click on that bell so you can be notified whenever we have new videos up.